Welcome to Inside Outboards with your host, kodibass.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Big hello to all you new subscribers. Thanks for stopping in and joining us for some good old outboard fun. You remember that little engine I had, little 15 horsepower Johnson? It whines. It liked to do a lot of whining. I've tried several lower units on it and so forth, and 3 different lower units, 2 or 3 different drive shafts in addition to the other lower units. The thing will run quiet without a lower unit on it, but as soon as I bolt the lower unit up, it starts this whining. And so overall, I couldn't sell the thing or nothing, so I'm gonna pop the Powerhead, and I'm gonna dissect it and tear it open and just see if I can find anything in there that's a smoking gun or jumps out at us. Will we? I don't know. But that's what I've decided to do with it. I'm gonna pop that Powerhead like a teenage pimple and tear it apart, look inside, and nothing else, I'll get a lot of good parts. So let's get to it. Diablo 1, Devil number 1. That'll do it. I had to stop outboarding and weld up a cross member for my buddy Charlie. I don't know if you can see it, both sides. That ought to do. That ought to do. Okay, so I got her out of the tank. I think I got mostly everything unhooked off the power head. But just in case you haven't done it before on these low profile 9.9s and 15s. Okay, you can see the throttle, the tiller handle and the throttle set up. On this side, on the tiller side, right here, you pull this rubber gasket down, and right there, you see that little opening? You can see light coming through there when I put my hand. That's where you're going to go at this thing first. Not with this big, thick screwdriver. You're going to get a thin screwdriver and get right in there. Let me get a screwdriver, I'll be back. Okay. You've got a set of screwdrivers. You want to start with a real thin one. Maybe even thinner than that if you got it. But right there, pull that down and you can see where there's a lip there. And that's where you want to try and pop it first. There you go. You've got that screwdriver in there. Heck, that's all it took on that one. But then you would get a bigger screwdriver. Get in there. Then a bigger screwdriver, get in there. And that's how you pop it. And you will need one of these percussion persuasion devices. Okay. Well, there's the power head. And I'm going to take this off. Well, we're going to take everything off because we're going to split this thing open. So let me get some different sockets laid out here. 3/8, 7/16, half, a couple of wrenches for the cobby, the fuel pump, different things. I'll be back. Now, something I would recommend, you understand, is if you're going to go at one of these and strip it down, pull its innards out, must have. Some of these, to my guys over there in Australia or the UK, some of these fasteners will be a pickle. And you'll need this guy. And a persuader. And even then, if they're salt ones, like this guy, there we go, they can be a little bit of pickle. Now another tool is that those Van pliers I use, they're pretty good at this too. They can be pretty good at popping them. This, come on now. There we go. So get you one of these little impact drivers, pop them loose, and then take them out. Well, I do believe we've got this thing ready to come mostly apart. Now there's going to be some behind the intakes, going to be some bolts. And I see I've forgotten one right there. I don't know if I can get into that one, if this will break it or not. Let me see. No, because that's the wrong size, I think. And I think correct. Hey, get off there. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Oh, darn. That it? No. Let me go find it. I'll be back. Okay, I accidentally threw my 7/16 inch socket in my little, with all my fasteners. So let's get a persuader. And I already got most of the head bolts out. Most, but not all. I know I had one that was being a little difficult. Let's see what we get. Oh. Hey. Wow, really nice looking head gasket there. Almost looks new. Well, maybe not so much. I see some bulging here and there, but it's on there. Whoever did it. Thermostat looks good sitting in there if you look right up in there. And the pistiones. Well, let's see what we get here. There we go. Intake looking good. Looking good. Reeds look good. Get this plate off of here. She comes. Reeds and all. Looking pretty good. There's a couple bolts we got to get out. I doubt that this will do them, but is that the right size? No. Come on out of there. What size are you? What is that size? There we go. So did I get them all out? Now I know I got a couple of, at least one guide pin, I think another one. I think I got them all out. There's a guide pin right there. But it moved. It to move. Where's my... I thought I left a skinnier screwdriver out here. By Joe, I'm getting a crock. Let's see if we can't. Yeah, got a lot of goop on this RTV, but it's still coming off. Let's get it some on this side then. Oh, there's the hidden bolt. There's always one hidden in there somewhere, ain't there? And if you're ever taking one of these apart and trying to open it up like this, and with some little bit of gentle persuasion, it just seems stuck, you've missed a bolt somewhere. You've missed the old bolt. Because these things generally aren't that. See what I'm saying? You just tap it and they'll start springing apart. Now, that oil passage that seal, let me get a pick. I'll be right back. Okay, I got a pick. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. But right in there, that oil passage is plugged with whatever that is. Interesting. Okay, that's just carbon buildup there. But there was a little piece of carbon, looked like, plugging that oil passage right there. I don't know that that would cause that whining, but if it wasn't getting... You can see. I don't know if you can see it. But right there's the shape of that oil passage, and right here it was plugged. For that, to be able to get oil in that hole. I don't know. Could that be it? I don't know. Well, do we see any scoring or anything? Only on that. I mean, that hole was completely plugged. And that would prevent oil from getting in them top bearings. So I'd say let's pull that top bearing out of there and golly, golly, gosh. So let me go get the right Conrod cap deal. I'll be back. Alrighty. Get them on out of there. There's me crank. Okay. This one bearing cage, the bearings are falling out of it, but there they are. So let's just put them there. And there. Alrighty. So let's push out some pistiones. Your bottom piston. And there's me top pistiones. All right. That's for the crank. Top oil seal. It does look not scored, but it looks like it's been heated right there at the bearing. But hard to say. Hard to say. Cylinders look really nice in there. I know you can't pick it up on camera, but they actually look really good. Very good, in fact. Hell, I can see some of the original, or if it was rebuilt, somebody did a good job because I can see the crosshatch in there. Well, the only thing this bearing don't feel, this top crank bearing don't feel, you know, stiff or nothing. Now, it did look like the oiler hole was plugged. Could that cause a whining like that? Could it have been this crank bearing cage? I don't think so. The center bearing's really nice. That bottom bearing, though, I don't know if you can hear it. Let that car go by. It is making some noise. So when that was mashed up against there, so there she is, into bits. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment down there and let me know, because I don't know. You know, I'm thinking that bottom bearing now. That's kind of noisy for a bearing. Kind of sloppy sounded. Maybe once the crank got all up in there, I don't know. But it does make noise. So once everything was bound with the crank in there, that might have, you know, pushed the crankshaft up. Maybe it caused this bearing to bind a little. I don't know. But there's no major smoking gun. I mean, we've got a worn lower bearing. We have a top bearing, upper crank bearing that don't look like it was getting oil properly. We got some worn cage, conrod cage bearings, but nothing super worn. And that's kind of how I figured this would go. There would be no giant smoking gun jumping out at me. But regardless, she is parts now because I couldn't sell it anyway, and I wouldn't sell it. A lot of nice parts here, though. Real nice carburetor on it, the all aluminum ones. Got everything you need to convert from long shaft to short shaft. Kind of sad about the old girl, huh? But sometimes it's what you got to do. Well, you can see what the old plum tree looks like. Ain't a leaf on it. And you can see the raspberry bushes are still quite dead. The currant bushes, they're starting to bloom, but they're still quite dead. And you can see the old grass is still pretty dead. It's trying to bust through. The apple tree over there ain't got a leaf on it. Yeah, it's still pretty cold up here. Spring's coming. I sure hope I get some plums this year. So I was discussing that there Powerhead and so forth with Fred, and he said, it's probably like everything else you do, you overlook the obvious. But I don't always put a lot of, clout in what Fred tells me. But I didn't see a smoking gun in there. Little things, the engine's worn. Some bearing chatter a little bit. If I had to guess, and that's all it could be, I would say with the top crank bearing maybe not getting the oil it should, and with that lower crank bearing being kind of sloppy, maybe the two of those combined, once you stab that drive shaft up in there and bound everything together with the bolts, maybe all that slop was allowing it to push up onto that top bearing, and that'd be my best guess. So if anybody on the camera saw something that I obviously overlooked, please point that out. But regardless, she's got some good parts there. Got the good old school all aluminum carb, just a lot of good, I mean the pistons and rings and everything are in good shape. So and then I've got everything to do the conversion from long shaft to short shaft with this motor. So a lot of good parts, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. I kind of figured it would go about like that, but like I said, motor wasn't something I could sell or would sell to anybody. I'd give it away to one of my buddies if they needed something just to get them over to the beach or something, but that's about it. So that's gonna be a wrap on this one, I think. So the weather kind of got nice today, but it's supposed to go right back to raining and blowing tomorrow. So, and it's still cold. I don't know if you can see my breath, but it's still cold out here. Today it might be 45, but at least the sun's shining, so that's good news. And as always, that's one more hack from Kodiak. Thanks for watching.
More vids are coming on Inside Outboards with your host, Kodibass.